Today, we're diving into the tech that is literally building our future. We're talking AI, robotics, drones, and how all this stuff is already a huge part of our lives, from the phones in our pockets to the tools in our hospitals.
Okay, so let's start with a question for you. Just think about your morning so far. From the second you woke up, how many different new technologies do you think you've already used? I bet the answer is way more than you think.
To see what I mean, let's follow a student named Mutesi through her day. Her morning starts with her phone alarm, right? But this isn't just any old alarm clock. It's smart. It checks the weather, sees it might rain, and reminds her to grab an umbrella. It's that little bit of helpfulness in the background that's a perfect example of this tech at work.
And when she gets to school, things get even more high-tech. The teacher uses a projector, the students read from digital textbooks, and after a lesson, they take a test online. But here's the magic. Mutesi gets her results right away, and her teacher can see in an instant who might need a little extra help. It makes the whole learning process way more efficient and, personal.
So that smart alarm, the digital textbook, those instant test results, all of these are what we call emerging technologies. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
So, what does that fancy term actually mean? Well, at its heart, an emerging technology is basically a new tool that's not just sitting still. It's growing like crazy and finding all sorts of new ways to make our daily lives easier, whether that's at home, school, or work.
Okay, so what gives a technology the emerging label? Well, there are 4 key things. First, it's got to be new, or at least a huge leap forward from older tech. Second, it's growing rapidly. I mean, just think about how fast AI has taken off. Third, it has a big impact, really changing the way we do things. And finally, its future is kind of unpredictable. It's so new, we can't even imagine all the ways it's going to be used down the road.
All right, so now that we know what makes a technology emerging, let's actually meet some of the key players. This is the toolkit of tomorrow. First up, the one I'm sure you've all been hearing about nonstop. Artificial intelligence, or just AI. So, in a nutshell, AI is all about teaching computers to do things that usually need a human brain. Like thinking through a problem, making a decision, understanding language, or even recognizing what's in a picture. And you might not even realize it, but you're probably using AI every single day. That face unlock on your phone? That's AI. Asking a smart assistant a question? You're talking to an AI. And the mind-blowing tech behind self-driving cars? Yep, that's AI too.
Next on our list, let's talk about robotics.
So what's a robot? It's basically a machine that's built to do things automatically. And the really cool part is that a lot of them can now work completely on their own without any human help.
And you'll find these guys working in some seriously impressive places. They're zipping around warehouses, moving packages, helping surgeons perform incredibly precise operations, and building pretty much everything from our phones to our cars.
Okay, next up, let's take to the skies and talk about drones.
Put simply, a drone is a flying machine that someone controls from the ground. There's no pilot on board. You can think of it as a super smart, remote-controlled plane that often has a really important job to do.
And what they can do is, well, it's incredible.
Yeah, they can take breathtaking photos from way up high, but more importantly, they're used to deliver life-saving medicine to places that are hard to reach, and they're a huge help in emergencies when the roads are blocked. Okay, so this next one is kind of the glue that holds a lot of this smart tech together. Let's talk about the Internet of Things, or IoT.
Imagine a giant team of smart gadgets. Your car, your lights, your watch, they're all connected to the internet, and they're all talking to each other, sharing information to get things done without you having to lift a finger. That's the IoT.
And it sounds super futuristic, but I bet it's already in your house. That smartwatch on your wrist tracking your health? That's IoT. The lights you can turn on and off with your phone? Yep, also IoT. It's all about making everyday objects a whole lot smarter. All right, now for a fun one. Virtual reality versus augmented reality. What is the difference? It's simple, really. VR puts you inside a totally new digital world.
You put on a headset and boom, you're somewhere else. AR, on the other hand, keeps you right here in the real world, but adds digital stuff on top of it. Think of pointing your tablet at a book and seeing a 3D lion jump off the page. That's AR.
So we've met all this amazing new technology. But what's the big deal? How does it all actually come together to change the world around us, from the way we learn in classrooms to the way we heal in hospitals?
Well, let's just look at the big picture. In a classroom, a student can use VR to walk through the streets of ancient Rome. In a hospital, a drone can deliver life-saving blood to a remote clinic, while an AI helps the doctor catch a disease earlier than a human eye ever could. From our factories to our roads, these tools are making things faster, safer, and just plain smarter.
And really, that's the key thing to remember here. These emerging technologies aren't just cool gadgets or fun toys. They are incredibly powerful and practical tools that are being used right now, today, to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
And that brings us full circle, right back to you. Every single one of these technologies started as just an idea to solve a problem. So as we look to the future, the real question isn't just what's next, it's what problem would you want to solve? If you could invent any new technology, what would you want it to do?